Hello students, I am Aarti Sharma, and in the last video we have studied about the seagull, that his parents motivated him, his brothers and his sister, they are flying and they are forcing him to fly, but he is afraid to take his first flight and he is left alone on the ledge. So let us move further and start with the explanation of the next paragraph. So we have read that he was pretending to fall asleep. Now let's start further. Still they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. Now he was watching his brothers and sister that they were taking rest. Dozing means feeling sleepy. Dozing means feeling sleepy. So he was watching his brothers and sister that they were taking rest with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening. Preening means making an effort to maintain feathers. Now this preening is the process when they clean their body. The birds, when they clean their body, this process is known as preening. The feather on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Thrust means pushed. And now father was busy in preening himself, and others, his brothers and sister, they were dozing. So his mother was only taking care of him. She was only watching him. Now and again she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. Scraped means rubbed. So she was tearing the piece of fish which was under her feet, and she was scraping each side of her beak on the rock. That she was rubbing her beak. And rubbing of the beak is again a process the birds used to sharpen their beak. The sight of the food maddened him. Now, when he saw that his mother is tearing the fish, he became mad with hunger because he has not taken anything from the last 24 hours. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to whet it. Whet it means to sharpen. Means, as I already told, that this is the process. Whet is the process that they sharpen their beak so that they can tear the flesh easily. Ga, 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 he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Ga kola, she screamed back derisively. Now he is calling his mother in his own language, ga, 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 but in return his mother shouted at him, screamed at him derisively. Derisively means to laugh at something in a cruel way. So she laughed at him and she said Gakola, means she is screaming at him, shouting at him, scolding him. But he kept calling plaintively. Plaintively means sounding sad, means she did not pay any attention to him. And after a minute, so he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him with it. Now, when he was simply asking his mother, sounding sad, that she can bring something for him to eat, and after a minute he saw that his mother has picked up a piece of the fish and she is flying towards him, and he was very happy that now she is going to bring something for him to eat. He leaned out means he knelt or bent in front, eagerly tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. Now, as his mother was approaching towards him, he was bent in front so that he can catch the fish. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted. Halted means stopped, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. Now, as the mother reached this seagull, she stopped, and they were opposite to each other, but she did not give him that fish, as the seagull was thinking that he can catch that piece of fish with his beak. He waited a moment in surprise. Now he was very surprised that why his mother is not providing him that fish, though she is standing right in front of him, wondering why she didn't come nearer, and then maddened by hunger. As I already told that he was hungry from last one full day, he dived at the fish. Now there was no option left with him that he can wait for someone to bring him. So when he saw that piece of fish in the beak of his mother, he dived at it. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. Now he don't know how to fly, so he was like falling down somewhere hither or thither. Then a monstrous terror seized him and his heart stood still. Seized means caught, and monstrous means very fearful. So when he jumped towards that fish, he was screaming loudly with a fearful cry, and his heart caught a terror, and he stood still there. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a few minutes. Means when he jumped towards that fish, it was only for few seconds. The next moment he felt his wings spread outwards. Now, as this is the habit, this is the inborn qualities of the bird to fly. So when he jumped, automatically his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. Now he was able to flap his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. He was soaring gradually downwards and upwards. Soaring means flying upwards. So he was now flapping his wings upward, downward, and he was soaring in this sky. He was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy, and dizzy means an uncomfortable feeling of spinning around and losing one's balance. And now why he was feeling dizzy? Because he has not taken anything from last full one day, 24 hours. So that is why he was feeling little dizzy, because he was lack of energy. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upwards. Again he flapped his wings and fly upwards. Ga 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 kola. His mother swooped past him. Now his mother is also encouraging him, motivating him, and she is moving behind him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. Now see how the parents are motivating him. They are around him, they are motivating him through their screams. They are very happy that their child has taken his first flight. He saw his two brothers and his sister flying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. Curveting means leaping like a horse. Now they were also motivating him and they were also diving. They are telling him how to dive, how to take next flight. And banking means flying with one wing higher than the other, means they were training him that this way also he can flap his wings. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly and commended himself to dive and soar and curve, shrieking shrilly, as the meaning was already discussed, that he was shouting loudly and he was now happy that this was an easy task. He was always afraid of not doing this, but it is such an easy job that he is doing right now. So this is all about how he started his first flight. We will continue this chapter in the next video. So till then, stay tuned and be safe.